What's up, ladies and gents? Well, the day has come to get the beast unveiled and taken to the shop, unfortunately. So let me tell you a little story on this guy right here. That big dog. You see the tow truck build over there on the side chilling. But this truck I have had, this was my first diesel truck. It is a 2005 F250 Super Duty. I've done so much to this truck, but unfortunately it is a 6.0 and it was my first diesel truck, so I didn't really know about the problems. And I was going to pick up my dad in Oregon one year, and on the way back, coming up through all those hills, I noticed that white smoke coming out of my tailpipe. And as you all know what that white smoke is, but at the time I didn't know what it was. And I was treating it like, diagnosing it like a gas vehicle, which I'm very familiar with. And I was thinking like, man, this thing still has power. It's still running. So there can't be nothing that bad going on with it. So I drove it, long story short, I drove the thing about 200 miles with a blown EGR cooler and just dumping water in my cylinders the whole time. I kept filling up the radiator on my way back. Didn't really know what was going on. By the time I got back, I drove it into my driveway. Luckily, I made it back. And it was making all kinds of crazy noise at that time. At that point, when I found out what it was, I was like, "Oh man, okay, I got to get this oil cooler." And I didn't have the money at the time, so I let it sit for a while, thinking like, "Oh, I'm just gonna let it sit here. I'll save up some money, go get that oil cooler." That EGR cooler. So I let it sit, saved up the money, took it to the shop, and when they took the engine apart, it was like, "Man, your engine is gone." Like it was just rusted out through and through from all that water going through the cylinder. So the engine was pretty much garbage. So back to the drawing board, had to save some more money and get a new engine. So I did a lot of research. So it came down to I wanted to get an Asheville engine. At the time, the Asheville was doing good. I did some research on Blackwater. I didn't like what I was hearing on Blackwater, so I was all set to go. Found an installer, Left Coast Diesel, down in Livermore, California. Austin, he's an installer over there, cool guy. I got nothing bad to say about them. They were in a Diesel Power magazine, I think it was Diesel Power, some diesel magazine. He was in for just being a guru on 6.0s. Took it over there, and they were telling me that they only install Blackwater engines, and they hadn't really installed any Asheville's. But he said he would install an Asheville, to be fair. But he really kind of talked me into doing a Blackwater. I told him about all the bad things I heard about him, and they said, "Well, hey, we do hundreds of them, and we don't have any issues." So I was like, all right, let me just go with their recommendation. They're putting it in. It was my first time doing it, so I didn't want to act like I knew more than them. So I went in and did that. About 20, not even 20,000. Yeah, it was about 20,000. About 20,000 miles later, I forget, but somewhere a low mileage later, I started hearing the ticking in my engine. I'm very in tune with my engines, and I was like, something's not right. Something's not right with this engine. Tick got louder. Did some more research on it, and just realized like something in the internals is not right. And yeah, I can take it apart and try to figure it out, but you know how the 6.0s are. You try to figure it out, you go down a rabbit hole. So I just decided I knew I shouldn't have gone with that Blackwater, and I'm just letting you guys know, don't mess with Blackwater. I shouldn't have gone with that Blackwater. Talked to Left Coast Diesel, but that's on me. They didn't put a gun to my head and make me get the dang Blackwater, but they did recommend it. That's the only knock I got on them, but everything else top notch. So I decided to do some more research and figure out what engine I was going to get. I'm going to fire this sucker up in a second so you can hear how the noise that I'm talking about. Hopefully it makes it, because it's been sitting for a little bit of time. So you'll hear that noise. And so I will be taking it to get fixed. I will be taking it tomorrow to get fixed. And the engine I'll be getting is a Kill Devil diesel engine, which, you know, from Charlie Keeter. It's won Diesel Power Challenge 2 years in a row. I talked to those guys down there. They're in South Carolina. And I got a good feeling about them. So I'm getting like a stage 1.5, I call it. I did all the stage 2 stuff, but I didn't get the pistons coated or anything like that because I didn't need that. But got a stage 2 cam. They throw that in for no extra charge when you're getting a build from them. Got the stage 2 springs. Got the stage 2, well, no, not stage. I got the upgraded heads, but it's not stage 2 heads. And I got the upgraded head studs, ARPs. I got the upgraded ARP head studs. And actually, an interesting fact about this Blackwater engine, I have ARP head studs, the regular ones, and still blew a head gasket. Blackwater sucks. Kill Devil, good. We will be taking this thing to start that install tomorrow. I'll document as much as I can. I'm a busy guy, so I can't videotape everything, but I'll do what I can. But I just want you guys to know my journey so you don't make the same mistakes that I made and get that Blackwater. If you want to get an engine for your 6.0 and you want kind of, and I wouldn't call it mass produced because Kill Devil's by no means mass produced. Those guys hand build their engines. But I would go Asheville if you want to kind of get a well-known commercially kind of mass produced. Asheville, I see or hear nothing bad about them. Otherwise, you know, go with someone like a Kill Devil or your local shop that's going to build it and you can go talk to them or something like that. But do not get Blackwater. They suck. All right, let's unveil and start this baby up. Okay, well, it's been a little bit since we started him up. Let's do a super cold start with the remote start. It's not working. Give the remote start one more chance. Now you hear all that loud ticking? Let's get closer. You can really hear it down here. So we're gonna take this baby to the shop, let them get to work, and when it's done, we'll kind of go over the truck, let you know some of the things I've done to it, answer any questions that might help you. But until then, see you on the next one.